Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
We're back.
Jacob,
Man, I love America.
God bless America.
I love this country. What was the
Yeah.
first thing you did when you got back from Ireland?
Ice water at the airport?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, ice water.
Yeah.
Ice water. You know what I also enjoyed?
Okay.
A toilet that properly flushed with some power to it.
We'll
you know?
get into that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me,
What
it
was
was the
the first-
shower. I walked in the door, hugged my wife, kissed my daughter, and said, I'm going to take a shower really quick.
Yeah,
And it was the best shower.
that's true.
Yeah.
The shower definitely did hit
Pressure, hot,
Yeah.
no timer.
after that long day
Yeah.
of traveling.
Sounds like we visited a third world country. We really didn't.
No, it was a beautiful country.
And maybe not all of the UK is like that, but we had some experiences this week.
No, we were staying in an old castle.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it makes sense that, things were beautiful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, love being back.
Yeah. You guys, this is the Ireland episode.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this last week's Runaway Workshop in collaboration with Emma Kay's Wedding Filmmaker Workshop. We're very excited to dive into it. A lot of thoughts. But first, a word from our sponsors. Can I say that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. You know, as a filmmaker, one of the hardest parts of our job is finding music that really matches the vibe we're going for. I've been down that rabbit hole, hours of searching, only to land on tracks that are fine, but not perfect. And that's why 5 years ago, we switched to MUSICBED and never looked back. The moment we started using MUSICBED, we realized they're not just another generic licensing platform. They've redefined what music should be for filmmakers because the tracks are authentic, emotional, and made by real artists. You can really feel the difference. They've also set this insane standard for quality too. They are very picky about the amount of artists they accept. So it's not like you're just sifting through fluff. Everything is highly curated. And their new AI-powered search tool is amazing. I can find the perfect track in minutes instead of hours. So if you're ready to elevate your work and win more clients over, click the link below and head over to MUSICBED and start your 14-day free trial today. Trust me, it's a total game changer for filmmakers like us. Okay,
Here we are.
Volume 3 of the Runaway Vows Workshop, the Runaway Workshop.
Did we do a post-mortem for New York City?
Wow, Volume 4.
Wait,
Ephraim, Salt Lake,
Did we do? Well,
New York, Ireland.
but we've only talked about the Salt Lake City on
Wow,
the
we
podcast
haven't
before.
talked about New York.
So this is only volume 2.
We won't talk about New York today. New York was amazing.
New York was great.
Let's talk about New York. Let's not talk about New York.
Nah, it was great.
Let's talk about Ireland.
Yeah, we could
New
have
York was
talked about
great.
New York.
Did more of like a content run and gun, just intimate type shoot, which is really fun.
Bought those hats.
Yeah, bought this hat. Go Yankees. I actually got stopped at the gym this morning.
Go Yanks.
This guy walked up to me and said, "Oh, a Yanks fan, huh?" And he said, "They're playing tonight at 6, aren't they?" And I was like, "No,
I have no idea.
clue. Not a fan of the sport."
No, I've been asked about the Yankees every time I wear that.
Yeah.
I said, I just bought it in the airport. I was there, man.
No, but we just returned from Volume 4, the Runaway Workshop, Ireland. This time, a collaboration workshop between Emma Kay's Wedding Filmmaker Workshop brand. We met Emma a year and a half ago, you guys know, 2 years ago now, and I don't know what started the conversation, but we wanted to do a collaboration with her. We felt we had like-minded values and goals and worked really well together at the weddings we shot together. And Emma loves planning things, loves logistics.
Yeah, she's really good at
And
it.
she said, I want to do this with you guys. And we were like, well, we want to do this with you. And she had some connection to a venue in Ireland and said, we should do it here because I have a connection to Latrellstown, which we'll talk about. And we're like, okay, full send. And we just got back, and what a week.
Do you feel like you're caught up on sleep?
Yeah.
Until last night.
Till last night.
Yeah, till last night.
Went crazy with the boys.
Man, had a Taco Bell bender.
Yeah, but what a week, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your highlight?
where to
Let's just
start?
start with that. Yeah. What's let's say highlight of because there was 4 days, right? There was the welcome dinner. There was
I guess 5,
Latrellstown,
according to Emma.
education.
Yeah.
According to Emma.
Yeah, I kept marketing it as a 4-day event. She's like, no, it's 5 because the last day, the day going home, is technically a day.
I wouldn't count that.
Emma does.
We had the
We love
welcome we had the welcome dinner. Yeah, our partnered welcome dinner. We had Latrellstown, and then we had the day of education, and then we had Dunleavy Castle.
Yeah. And then we shuttled everyone home and checked out.
So let's just start. Welcome dinner was great.
Yeah.
Obviously, the highlight, people just getting off the bus greeting them. What was your highlight of, let's say, Luttrell's Town Day?
Man, a lot of moments, man. This last week, because, yeah, unlike a wedding, like there are days you just feel like you've been overworked and defeated, and you got the good content, but you just feel tired. I didn't have one of those days in Ireland.
No?
Like every single day, I just felt like I was riding adrenaline and just felt this overwhelming love for what we do.
Yeah.
And like the industry we're building. Or sorry, the industry we're in, the community we're building. But Luttrellstown especially. So Luttrellstown was it was Tuesday, the day after everyone arrived, which I want to talk about that too. But Luttrellstown, it was just walking into the venue and knowing it's like one of the UK's most luxurious venues. And I was at the front with Emma. You were in the back.
I was.
Capturing everyone walking up. It's a great shot.
It was a good shot.
But I was at the front, and we just kind of come over these trees, and you see this castle. And that's what America doesn't have. We don't have castles. We don't have like history really yet. No ruins. It's just there's this ancient castle in front of us, and I look back, and that was my favorite part. We're seeing everyone's faces. We haven't even seen the design yet. We saw a vintage car, some florals, which were gorgeous. But then everyone just was just in awe. Most everyone. Because I say mostly because a lot of these people had never left the country before.
Right.
And here they were in Ireland with us. And so I was just like looking back and seeing these people from all over the world, like just like in awe. And then there's another one of those moments, which I'll probably repeat a lot in this podcast, is like, man, they're here with us. Like we asked them to come and they all came. And that was like just one of those cool moments. Yeah. And then walking in and seeing the ballroom was just like with the violin playing, I was like just chills the whole day. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that because Sandra, she was our wedding planner that we worked with, you know, and up until now we've only done Zoom calls with her. We haven't really done anything. So it was cool seeing her in person, but like we still didn't know exactly what it was going to look like. Yeah. I think a highlight was opening that Grand Ballroom for the first time.
Yeah, it was.
There's a hilarious picture. We need to be better like using our hands, you know, because we tell grooms to use their hands for the first look. No, like when they open the Grand Ballroom, you can see like the picture of Emma just like hands to her face, like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And you and me are just looking at something on the wall. Yeah. Just like, well.
I was at the chandeliers.
Yeah, same. I think it was the chandeliers.
And I was just like flabbergasted.
It was couldn't even so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. I loved the reveal.
Yeah. That was amazing.
But yeah, that was kind of what we'll talk about more about Dunleavy Castle, Jay and Mack session. But that was kind of like the first taste we got of Jay teaching his signature, Jay and Mack's signature shot. Yeah. So that was one of the highlights for me.
What was your highlight of the whole week?
Man.
Put it into one.
Hard to say. So we had the shoots, education, and then the activities. The activities were the magic show, the murder mystery, and the Irish dancers. Ooh. Well, it's hard to top the Northern Lights.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Northern Lights.
Yeah, we got blessed with the Northern Lights on the very last day of the workshop. You know, the shoots had coming on. We were just done. And so we walk into the castle, and not the best thing to hear. We walked in. Remember that lady walked up and she said, "Guys, there's a red alert."
Yeah, red alert, red alert. And we're like,
red. What is there?
I was like, I swear,
there's a red alert. I thought it was a storm or something.
Yeah, it was a fire. Like, had to evacuate.
Yeah. Red alert for the Northern Lights. And we're like, no way.
Yeah.
And throughout the night, we just walked out, and they kept progressively getting just like more red, and you could just see it with your naked eye, and it was just magical. Everyone was just asking how much we paid to have the Northern Lights show up on the last night of the workshop.
Didn't even plan that.
No, that was crazy. Yeah. So it's hard to beat that.
That was a magical ending.
Yeah.
It felt like the lantern send off for me.
Yeah,
that's similar, good. Just kind of out of body, surreal.
Yeah,
like larger than life moment.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say one of my favorite moments from one of the activities was the murder mystery. The murder mystery was really fun. That was really fun.
That was funny.
There were two moments where I just was laughing my head off. Number one, when Hannah McGinty was just asking the undertaker, the grave digger, you know, trying to figure out who committed the murder. And I forgot what the question she asked was, but the gravedigger's weapon was a shovel. And she was asking all these questions, and he was answering her like very nonchalantly, trying to like make her feel stupid. Like, why are you even asking this? This is self-explanatory. And he walks over to her paper and just picks it up. And you can see there's only one word written on the back of her paper, because we're supposed to be writing all the clues, you know, solving. And there was just shovel. And he just holds it up and just yells, shovel. And everyone just dies. Like, we've been here for 2 hours. And all you wrote was shovel. And then Nick from Bourbon and Bitters asking if the head was decapitated.
It's like an actor on the ground.
Yeah, it was a live dude.
Alive, but dead.
Yeah, alive,
lying
but
on the
playing
ground.
dead. He was asking if the head was decapitated, and the gravedigger was just like...
Is his head?
He broke character. It's like...
Started laughing.
We saw the same body, right?
That was a great night,
I was
man.
crying laughing at that.
That was a great night. Yeah.
Those were 2 highlights from the activity parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I said it at the last night, but like there's this moment when we're on the cliffs of Ireland on the last night, final styled shoot. We finally cleaned up everything we need to clean up, and just like finally like resting and looking around and just seeing like everyone I loved doing their thing.
Yeah.
And then the kicker that got me crying was just seeing Courtney and Jay and Mack doing the Jay and Mack like in front of a castle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man.
Yeah.
Coolest thing, because I just like thought I was thinking about Courtney, how we knew her 7 years ago, and here we were in Ireland with her, and how we met J Mac a few years ago, and just like fell in love with them, and now Courtney got to work with them, and we'd always said like, man, Courtney, you and J Mac would be like such a good team, and there they were. That was one of my favorite parts.
Seeing them.
Yeah. Also, just want to talk about some people that I think we gotta talk about. Gotta start with Russell.
Gosh.
Gotta start with Russell.
Love Russell.
Yeah. Russell was, just blew my expectations out of the water as a human being.
Yeah.
Because we know him online.
Yeah.
He's funny, witty.
Been on calls
British.
with him,
Yeah. Just funny guy. Smart
Very
businessman.
smart.
Comes from e-commerce and sales. And he just kind of showed me, just gave every day his all, and just got to know every single person, and really lifted the load, I feel like, off of all of us to like have to be present with everyone. He was an equal partner in the social aspect, and I just really valued him in all of our conversations and just his insight on everything. And I just could tell he genuinely wanted to help everyone at the workshop.
Yeah. No, we had incredible VIPs. Yeah, Russell was awesome. He loved getting to know him just on a personal level, and the amount of people that just came up to us and said, I think he might be the funniest guy I think I've ever met in my life. There were multiple people that said that.
Yeah, it's dry humor too.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
Just perfectly delivered though.
Yeah. Found out he was an avid listener of the kitchen.
Yeah. So now I guess we have 3 avid listeners.
Courtney, Cherish, and Russell.
Yep. No, I loved getting to know Russell.
Yeah.
Russell's just such a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
He gave a on the education day. No, sorry, this was it day? When did
It was day one. It was Tuesday.
Day one.
Yeah,
it was day one before we went to
Latrell's,
Latrellstown. Day one, he gave a whole hour-long presentation about just e-commerce, how regular filmmakers can capitalize on making digital goods, whether it's LUTs, whether it's like sound effects packs, like whatever it is, and how everybody can make their own and start selling it, and realizing that you don't need a huge following to do it. You just need to make them and just put them in the ether, because if you sell just $20, that's better than $0.
And he said, if I can sell to one person, I can sell to 100.
Yeah. And then Yuki, the day after the workshop, he sends a message and he said, hey, I just wanted to thank you, Russell. I just created my own LUT and I'm starting to sell it. And it was just like, no way.
Yuki's a different breed of worker.
A different breed of working. Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's incredible. But yeah, and then so other than Russell, we had Jay and Mack as VIPs, and man, yeah, we could have a whole episode about Jay and Mack as well. Just the most down to earth people.
Yeah.
They just connect with you, and you just know that like they don't want to be in the limelight. They are in the limelight because their work is just so good.
The best.
But they
don't want it.
No, they're the Cillian Murphys.
Very humble.
They're like Cillian. They just like to stay out of the limelight. They prefer one-on-one conversations. They don't prefer big groups. But what we had them do is we brought them out. Not that they were going to give a presentation like everyone else, but they were going to teach their styled shoot, their hour-long session. And
Because
so,
it's such a unique approach to working with couples in a portrait session.
oh yeah.
Such a very personalized, movement-centered approach.
And it was so cool seeing each filmmaker ditch their gimbal the second they walked over there, because they just knew.
J-Max station, gimbal, pile.
They didn't tell them to do that either. They just knew they were not going to want their gimbal.
Yeah.
And the results were crazy. I think we saw like 20-something reels.
And we had one person say, this isn't my style, but it was so cool to be at a workshop and get to practice something completely new.
Yeah.
And try it out.
Which is what workshops should be.
Yeah, it should be.
You know?
Yeah.
Practice posing, practice,
Yeah, Jay and Mack
shots.
were a huge highlight for me. Just
Love them.
Every single day I looked over and I just was like, how do we get Jay and Mack at our workshop?
How do we get them everywhere?
Yeah. Because Jay and Mack, like, and if you're another educator who has asked Jay and Mack and they said no, suck it. The Jay and Mack, like, they don't go to these things.
No.
And so every day I just felt so honored.
Yeah.
And I felt this pressure. I'm like, okay, we gotta make this really good for Jay and Mack because I want them to come to more things. And they were just the most humble, kind, and there always be so many moments that are just about teaching people. Like one of the days we were just like taking a break and I looked outside the window and Jay's like handing around his rig to people outside, just like, try it out. Like, and teaching people anamorphic lenses and things. And just amazing. And then Mack almost killed me.
I was
on
about
the
to
last
talk
night.
about that. That was hilarious.
We had a pinata and Mack was blindfolded and
Did you watch?
didn't tell me.
Did you watch Jay's story today, where she caught the moment of her just? I rewatched.
I was looking at Nate and Max started swinging on the pinata and I was holding it like in my hand and she just started trying to kill someone. So just love her. She's hilarious.
Oh, love them both.
See, I just love them. Like they were like Russell and Jay and Mack, like two, I guess 3 people that like I genuinely was just like so honored that they were part of our brand.
Yeah.
For just a week, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I loved having them there. Then we had Megan Edgman from Salt Rock Studios.
Become a good friend of ours. Yeah,
she's become a really good friend of ours. And we like doing these live editing sessions at the workshops.
Yeah.
We've had Will Sarmiento do it, and that was always a hit. People just love watching other people film
peel back
and
the curtain.
edit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
And so Megan just did a live editing session about like how to do a same day or a next day teaser in DaVinci. Yeah. And it was just fascinating seeing just everyone just like see a completely different new workflow and see. I kind of took away from it. I know you talked about this too, just like seeing people realize that DaVinci's not that crazy and they just loved that different element of it.
Yeah, seeing Megan just kind of break it down very simply. I was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. So she had some just, and then it's a lot of pressure to do a same day teaser right in front of everyone. So we broke. That's when we were looking at Jane Mack's rigs and Russell's rig, and then we came back and she already had it ready about an hour or so later, and it was just stunning. It was just beautiful.
Yeah,
it was really cool to see that process broken down.
Yeah, it was great. Killed it. And then we got just spend a moment and talk about Emma.
Oh, Emma.
Queen Emma.
Queen Emma.
Hates when we call her Emma, but
you can't say her name.
You can't say, hey, Emma, where are you? Because she thinks she's in trouble.
Yeah, or you can't say, hey, Emma, I'm outside.
Yeah, hey, Emma, where we're on budget. She freaks out. Yeah.
No, even, hey, Emma, congratulations.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Think she's in trouble.
Don't call me Emma by name.
Jennifer is
I guess
her alias.
Ask Emma why she calls herself Jennifer.
Yeah, ask her, please.
But yeah, got to talk about Emma for a second. Emma was the MVP of this year.
100%, yeah.
She kind of let us be plugged into her efficient logistical system. Because from our last few workshops, we had Becca, who was our saving grace of Salt Lake City. And without Becca, we would have crashed and burned. Becca, if you're listening to this, we love you. We miss you. But we didn't have Becca this time, and we had Emma. And Emma just has done this 6 times now, I think.
Right.
And just kind of let us be plugged into her system and was very efficient. And
so efficient.
And I learned a lot, honestly. And I was like, wow. And so, but aside from that, aside from being heavily in charge of all the logistics of this workshop, just watching her last week, she loves this.
Oh, yeah.
Like every single day I just looked at her, I'm like, you love this.
Yeah.
Like you are so happy, so in your element. And then she'd let you know because she would cry every few minutes. I just love you guys so much.
She cried at the welcome dinner.
Yeah, cried at the welcome dinner. Yeah.
Bawled at the farewell dinner.
Yeah. So she just loved it.
Yeah.
And she never and she was tired. We were all tired. We went to bed late, woke up early.
Yeah.
Never showed it.
Never did.
Yeah.
No, she's queen at logistics.
Yeah,
and
she
also
is.
just throwing. I remember I asked her about this, and I said, "Hey, like you're really good at just like throwing these events." She said, "You want to know why?" It's like I like throwing parties that I would attend.
Yeah.
And so she's really good at finding activities, whether it's, I mean, we went to the Malibu one, and they had like pool dancers that were in those big ball things, and we're like, what? Where did that come from? You know?
Yeah.
And fire jugglers. And so she...
Well, it was murder mystery thing. Like, we weren't for it.
No, just like,
We're like,
okay.
We're going to put budget towards murder mystery.
Murder
And she's
mystery?
like, guys, I really want to do this.
Right,
I love murder
okay.
mysteries. I was like, I've never done one. I was like, all right, we just kind of like, that's your thing. You can have that.
Even the bagpiper.
We had no alternative.
The bagpiper and the horse at the shoot. She's like, let's do a horse. I'm like, okay. And so she's really good at just finding these activities and just, tying it all into logistics and just keeping it all within budget to make sure the experience goes well for everyone.
Yeah. No, she was seriously the best. We just love her.
Emma.
Definitely solidified that we want to do a lot more things with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I felt so honored again throughout the week. Like, wow, we have Emma K in our corner.
Right.
Like we are doing a collaboration with Emma K. It just was so awesome to me.
Yeah.
She's just become such a great friend. And she probably never say this, but like also a mentor in a lot of ways. Like, of just how to be a professional and a good person and genuine and authentic and things like that. So just kind of solidified, seeing Emma and Russell and Megan and Jay and Mack around us. Like, these are the people.
Yeah.
These are the people I want to be with. And also Michael. We flew out Michael Pearl for behind the scenes videography, and we had used him last year for Russell's Through the Lens, coming soon. Just a great guy. Just a good guy. Just a British guy, hilarious.
Love Michael.
Funny guy.
Funny dude.
Good guy.
His American accent is great.
Yeah. So him and then our intern Athy, who was editing daily reels and also running around Ireland all week. They were just MVPs as well. Yeah. Making things happen. All the daily recaps you saw were from Athy and Michael.
Danny, the workshop mom.
Workshop mom.
Just unnoticed, but make sure everything gets done.
Queen.
Yeah.
And then Hannah and Courtney. What a duo.
Gosh.
Finally got Hannah and Courtney to meet.
Peanut butter and jelly. Looking through their gallery, looking through the gallery, and we couldn't tell which one was Courtney, which one was Hannah. That's really refreshing. Yeah. And that they were just like really good friends. Yeah. Just like, gosh.
Yeah.
Just hype women too.
Courtney's so weird.
Man, you get Courtney past
lost
9
her bag,
p.m.
and she didn't have her bag for like 4 days, but never complained. Smiled the entire week. Yeah. Still went crazy on the dance floor without invitation.
Well, she got her bag back like 20, 30 minutes into the murder mystery. Yeah. No, at the very beginning, but she spent, 10, 15 minutes getting her costume on. So she came in late to the murder mystery. Yep. Still won first place.
Guessed the murder, the motive, and the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she went to like 3 outfits that night just for fun. But yeah, love Courtney.
Love Courtney.
Just love her and Hannah together.
I would shoot every wedding.
They took the worst photos of me probably ever in my life. Like, just truly photos that I was like, I hate these photos of myself. But it was a me problem, not a them problem. Well, it actually was their problem. They should learn how to work with a client. I hope I'm not missing anyone. I hate when I start naming people and then there's one person I forget, but it's the most obvious person. It's everyone we flew out there with.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Man, we got to take a sec to talk about Danny and Jason.
My boys. My wee boys.
My Scottish boys.
Yeah.
Man, they had us on their podcast, and it was just so funny because, like,
Merry and Pippin.
Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings.
That's who they were. 2 guys that just want to blow something up. Let's get another one.
No, I'll never forget. Just like the welcome dinner, I'm just sitting there at the back, and I just look at these 2 guys right in front of me. And first off, Jason we had these old name tag stickers. Danny had written a pretty vulgar word on one of the name tags and just given Jason a little smack on the back. Hey man,
on night 1.
On night 1, and you see it just smack dab in the middle of his back, and he had no idea. But I'm just looking at these 2 guys in front of me. It's like, what? And just cans, a mountain of Guinness.
They drink like fish,
and they have the highest tolerance I've ever seen in my life. Nothing, just didn't skip a beat. Yeah. We had to go buy more alcohol for them the next day. Yeah.
Not for them, but kind of.
But pretty much.
You guys drink it all.
Man, they burned through that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Mary and Pippin, like, we just walked out, and they were just doing FPV when no one else was like, what are you doing?
So funny.
They were just two guys you always had to watch because you just know they were doing something funny.
Good guys.
Great guys.
Leading a charge out in the UK.
Yeah.
Or out in Scotland. Just leading a charge. They want to build a community, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Got a great podcast. Just good guys.
Wedding videographer podcast.
Good guys.
Yeah.
They were fun. Another highlight and low light for me was Dunleavy.
Why a low light? Oh.
So here's a good story, guys.
We're going here.
So we get to Dunleavy, last day of the week. Surreal, right? Just castle design,
Perfect weather.
gorgeous ceremony.
Yeah.
The models are hot, like
Irish.
seriously.
Yeah.
And then there's this one model at the one shoot. She's just the classic, stereotypical Irish bride. Just flowy red hair, big blue eyes. Looks like Merida from Brave.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Dresses a vibe. The groom's a vibe. He's some cast member from Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah.
Did a lot of episodes with them. Anyway, everything's perfect. Divided into groups, off to the races. And it's just this moment, the weather also is going to rain. It didn't. So a lot of things like, wow, it's working.
Perfect.
And so after everyone's off to the races, the shoot's been going for 5 minutes. Emma gets the horse to the couple. The bride gets on the horse. They start shooting on the horse. And we all kind of gather, us three kind of gather. Like, guys, we did it. We did this. It's just one of those moments where we're just like proud of ourselves. Half a second later, we look over. Hannah, photographer, is walking up to us. Just, you guys are not going to believe this. And we just look at her.
I was like, don't say anything, please.
Oh, no. And she just goes, the horse just pooped all over the dress. And we just, what do you mean? And the horse just pooped all over the dress.
We're thinking it's an exaggeration,
Yeah.
like just a little bit, you know.
And then again, what do you
a
mean?
little bit maybe on the train, you know, at the very bottom.
And we look over and we just see the train draped over the horse with this clump of brown at the bottom.
And all the attendees staring at us.
Yeah, like, fix this. We have to keep, we only have an hour to shoot. And this is also a day we're on the clock. Like, it's not like we can like get a new dress, clean it, and then push everything back a little bit because we have to leave at a certain time.
Yeah.
Because it's a 2-hour drive back. So we're looking at it, and we look at our dear planner who, you know, romantically thinking for some reason, oh, she'll have like a backup dress. Obviously she wouldn't because we'd have to buy for that. And we just didn't plan for a backup dress. So we're just like, okay, what's the plan? She's like, what are you going to do? And so then we realized this is on us. This is our workshop.
What do you mean? What are we going to do?
And then, so I walk over, and Emma was flustered. Nate was flustered. I was flustered. I walked over, examined it. The bride got off. Other two stations are shooting. This station has to wait. They have no bride. And there's just horse manure all over the bottom of the train. And we have no water.
Nothing.
No backup dress.
Nothing.
And, you know, actually, I don't know if we should be telling the story publicly because of our agreement with the bridal shop. I just realized, you know what? Screw it. They don't listen to
It
this.
was fine. Yeah, they don't listen to it.
I just don't turn and post this and clip it. So,
Yeah.
So I just have Athy run and grab all of our drinking water. He runs it over to me, and there's this moment where I'm just sitting there on my knees, clenching a dress with poop, and I'm just pouring water bottles on it, getting the chunks off. And I was just like, what is my life? I was like looking around, I was like, I'm in Ireland cleaning poop off a dress. What is my life?
Yeah.
And then they brought like a bucket of water with a horse scrub, and some Irish horse guy just starts dipping the dress in this horse bucket.
That guy went
And just
hard.
starts scrubbing the poop out of it, like grabbing the poop and like just with his hands. And I was just like looking at him. I was like, what is going on?
Happening?
And within 15 minutes, the dress was fine.
Yeah.
Looked like it had a little bit of mud on it.
Yeah, it's
Smelled
dirt.
a little bit questionable. But yeah, and then everything got delayed 20 minutes, and then we were back to the races.
But simultaneously, while that was all happening, so when Hannah said that, like, hey, the poop's all over the dress, it was like, just picture us three.
Yeah.
We all turned towards the dress. And then a couple seconds later, Russell comes up to us and he's like, hey guys, there's a situation at the other group.
So within 30 seconds, we had to split off and put out 2 fires.
And there was a pretty serious situation happening in another group. And this was all within just a couple seconds of us just saying, hey guys, we did it. And man, did we jinx it in that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, the poop on the dress was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how we didn't think of that. you know?
So the rest of the night, she just side saddled.
In my mind, a horse was like a dog where you take it out, you know, just
Yeah.
before. And just, that was in my mind, you know, wishful thinking. But when they draped the dress over the back of the horse, I just didn't even think twice about it. Sure. But it was like diarrhea. It was like liquid.
It was gross. But all was well.
All is well.
J-Mac led the shoot for the next 3 hours, and it was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The reel that they posted from that and all the attendees from that station.
Yeah.
Gosh, so good.
Yeah, it was next level. So that was like that was really the only thing that went horribly wrong.
You said there was a highlight. What was the highlight from Dunleavy?
That.
Oh, it was a highlight and a low light. Yeah, I can agree with that.
That was actually really, looking back, I'm like, man, what a fun moment.
That was a fun moment.
Just put out fires.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Emma went to go just like calm the attendees down.
Yeah, she was keeping the peace.
Yeah. Like, we'll give you more time. Don't worry.
No, we got blessed with really good weather there too. That was just surreal seeing the cliffs and you see the Dunleavy Castle in the background. It was just gorgeous. And then Danny and Jason are over there flying FPV through the bottom cliff. We're like,
yeah, the content's great. We're just here to get footage.
No, it was I loved Dunleavy, man.
But I think if I had to put one time as my favorite part of the workshop, had to just be the bagpipe on day one with the shuttle bus full of attendees pulling up.
Oh yeah,
that was cool for me.
that was really cool.
Like, just welcome to Ireland.
It was a really long driveway leading up, and you could just see it coming.
That
and
was
everyone
awesome.
was just filming because they were hyped, and then we were hyped. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome. Pascal, the bagpiper.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Overall, man, what a week. And also like solidified that like I want to do more of these for sure.
yeah,
I really enjoy it. I find, I tell the attendees, I find so much fulfillment, and because we don't position ourselves as like experts.
No, not at all.
I think education's very relative to where you are at on your journey, and we all know there's a spectrum of knowledge, and we all fall somewhere on that spectrum.
yeah,
And so if there's a spectrum, that means there are people who know less and know more than you, no matter who you are, whether you're Lindsay and Cherish, who are definitely towards the end of the knowledgeable end of the spectrum, or guys like us who are just mid. I would say we're mid. I think I'm mid. But with that being said, we approach with a lot of humility, not as people who are saying like, here's, do what we're doing, more as like, hey, we're learning like you, we're trying to grow like you, we have the same struggles you have, we're trying to find clients like you are. Doesn't matter what market we're in, the principle's the same struggle, right? And the same ethics and the same business practices, whether you're filming local barn weddings or doing ultra luxury events, like you know, the principles are the same. And so it's just like cool for me seeing 25 people get off the bus in Ireland and we're all like on the same page, and how much I loved and just like knew that I was like, I love being surrounded by this community. Yeah, I love it.
yeah,
And I feel a lot of fulfillment offering whatever value I can to anyone who will listen, you know?
yeah.
And whether you think, oh, yeah, that applies to me, or oh, it doesn't. Like, if I can just help one of you guys,
Yeah.
it's so worth it to me.
Yeah, I agree. No, it definitely solidified workshops moving forward.
Yeah.
And I mean, we get it. You know, workshops are everywhere. There's a lot of workshops going on nowadays. And I think they're great to go to. And we try to stand out by giving people just, I would say, contrasts, because we have, you know, Jay and Mack,
Yeah.
and we have Russell, who I would argue shoot very differently.
Yeah.
They would probably teach very differently. And even us and Emma, like, we do some things quite a bit different. And so I think that these workshops moving forward, we're really going to like lean into that. You know, we want to give people the experience
Perspective.
because that was most valuable to us when we first went to Emma's workshop as VIPs, because remember we had May and Co. talk for an hour about the luxury market and Amon Giri clients and this and that. And we were so stoked about it, but half the room wasn't. And then that's when Blink Films, Catherine came in and talked about her luxury elopement market, which is just smaller, you know, smaller bridal parties, 10 to 30 people total. And that's when the
much more intimate of an experience.
Yeah, and that's where the other half of the room that wasn't quite feeling the May & Co presentation and market, they were just all aboard the Blink Films presentation. And so I think that was really valuable for us, was seeing just, you say this a lot, it's just like two things can be true at once, right? There's multiple ways of doing something, and there's multiple roads you can take. It's not just this is luxury. You have to do this workshop, and you have to have this type of styled shoot, this type of presentation, this type of gear. Like, I really like that we try to lean into multiple perspectives for people to learn from, different styled shoots.
Yeah, like Russell, J Mac, us, and Emma, like four perfect examples of success that looks different.
Totally, yeah.
Like, we all feel successful in our own right. None of us are doing it the same way.
No.
And I hope that when you invest in education, whether it's courses or workshops, that you have that mindset of like, okay, even though maybe Jake and Nate aren't saying exactly my market or my clientele, what's the principle and how can I apply it to my way of doing business? I think if you're walking into a creative industry like ours with a very closed-minded, I need to be led like a sheep mindset, you'll fail instantly because it's not authentic and genuine. At the end of the day, it's an art, but it's also a business. And so you have to make a beautiful marriage of the two. And we talked about that in our presentation. Like, you think that if you invest more in your business and like your structure, that you lose creativity, but it's the opposite. The more you can get your business to be a legitimate self-sustaining machine, it frees you up to be more creative and to give your business more of a personality. And so I look at J Mac and I think a good example of like success and creativity being a perfect blend and having a very unique experience and sticking to their guns so that people know, okay, J Mac don't shoot like everyone else does, but I'll pay a premium for that look.
Right.
You know? Whereas a lot of more traditional documentary filmmakers might think, oh, it's not like, you know, where are the long takes? Where are the hero angles? It's like, you know, doesn't matter for them because it's not their art, you know?
Yeah.
So I agree. Just 4 ways of doing it. That was really refreshing. And I hope all the attendees saw that.
Yeah.
That like I can take bits and pieces from everybody
Yeah.
and apply it to my little business.
Yeah. And also an underlying theme was adapting.
Yeah.
Because the styled shoots went really, really good, but there was still a little bit of adaptation to every shoot, you know? I remember the very first day of shooting at Latrell's Town, we had, you know, the ceremony couple, like the luxury couple, and then we had like the elopement couple. But the elopement couple, the dress was a little like tighter and she had trouble like running.
Yeah.
And some people were just like, like, this doesn't look exactly like an elopement. How do we make it like an elopement? And they just kind of like had to lean into it and try to get, you know, a little creative
at first
with
they were
their
like,
poses.
oh, we can't do anything.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, exactly. At first, we can't do anything, you know. And then they were just like, hey, you know what? What happens if we show a little more leg, you know, with the dress? Hike it way further up than we thought. Instead of just running with a flowy dress, what happens if she grabs the whole dress, pulls it up, and like we just get creative that way, you know? So there was just like a lot of, and then of course the poop on the dress, that was definitely adapting, shooting from the right, the correct angles to not show that off. But that was just something that we hoped people learned. And you might be thinking, oh, that was all by accident, and they're trying to like shrug it off by saying, oh, just adapt. It's like, no, we really do try to teach people to adapt on set and learn as quickly as possible at these shoots. And we talked about that a lot.
There was this moment during the Dunleavy ceremony where there's really just one main shot. Everyone wanted down the aisle with symmetry.
Yeah, yeah.
Or close to it, and everyone like was waiting their turn. And I was like, guys, what are you doing?
Right.
I was like, if this is how you are on a wedding day, you're gonna wait your turn. You're gonna miss the opportunity to get the shot. Because what if the couple's done after that one take and like, why have to do it? Why have to do it again? Like that was feels unauthentic. And so I was really grabbing people's cameras and putting them next to people's heads, like just cluster. Put your camera next to their ear.
Kneel down, stack on top
like
of
stack,
each other.
kneel, and so everyone's just like literally hugging each other. Some guys had their arms around each other because they were so tight. I was like, that's a wedding. Like that's working with a photographer and saying, I'm gonna get my shot no matter what. Because at some of these weddings we've been at, there's been like an 8-person camera crew, and we're just one of the noise.
Literally
you know?
beneath the photographer.
Yeah, and that's how we are with Courtney. Like Courtney gets symmetry. I'm like, I don't want to go off to the side. I want Courtney's exact angle.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go under her or above her every single time, and just tell her, hey, I'm right above you.
Yep.
You know, or I'm right below you. Can I just get in front of you? And they're great with that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Like learn how to. So I think workshops, it's not just education. I think you should walk into this mindset of, I'm going to get great shit out of my brand. I'm going to learn how to adapt. I'm going to learn how to work with vendors. And I'm also going to practice. I'm shooting florals and design and venues and a bride and a dress and a suit. I'm going to make sure that every vendor that I have to tag on this vendor list feels seen in that video. Because we give them the tag list. There's like 15 people that they have to tag as part of the workshop content, you know, hair, makeup, styles, jewelry. And I'm like, a smart videographer would look at that list and say, that's my client today.
Yep.
And say, I got to make sure that I make in my recap reel that every vendor is like, I want to show this video. Like a hero shot of the bride looking at the camera, makeup, boom, right? Tights of the earrings and the jewelry. Jewelrist wants to share that video. The dress flowing, the dress like that looks, my dress looks good on that bride, you know? So I think you should be approaching every workshop with like a practice mindset and trying to almost fail so you can overcome your insecurities quicker. Yeah.
What better place to fail than at a place where it's all controlled?
Yeah.
Nothing is going to happen if you don't deliver.
Exactly.
It's what you make of it, you know?
Exactly.
So fail quick and just keep going. Just try new things.
Because we've been to some styled shoots before where there's definitely a lot more chill than this, but like where you can tell the videographers and photographers are trying to go through their portfolio in 20 minutes. You're like, you're not going to do that. Just get the hero stuff. Anyway, such a week.
I will say the low light of the week.
Sandwiches.
The sandwiches.
The sandwiches.
Man,
the Irish don't know how to eat.
The Irish just, they have really good pub food. You know, the pub,
good pub food.
You know, good bar food. They do that really well. But man, their food, the breakfast is just like they had those like red baked beans and I think the you know, the black pudding.
America does food pudding a lot better than the UK.
But
I said it.
Hey,
I said it.
Absolutely.
We know seasoning and flavor.
I will die on that hill.
That's why we're also never mind.
Every single day we had those sandwiches, and the sandwiches, I love how Russell explained them.
Kind of ruined it for me, actually. I was doing found the sandwiches until Russell put this visual in my mind.
He said they were sandwiches made with firm fingers.
Yeah.
And
just kind of ruined it.
They were just like, not even Grandma Sycamore's bread.
I'm just picturing this big, hairy Irish Viking woman making my sandwiches.
And they put on a whole layer of butter, which I like the Irish butter, if I'm being honest. I like the Irish cream butter. Yeah. And then, so a whole layer of butter and then one single slice of turkey or like roast beef.
The cranberry one was pretty good.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And smushed. So it's like I don't know.
With a presser.
Yeah, like almost, you know, like a panini, but it was just their hands. You could just see them smushed.
You could see the fingerprints.
And so that's what we were eating every day. And
every day for lunch.
The funny part is like people just laughed it off. Like it was just funny. Everyone knew kind of.
We ate well at dinner.
We did. Yeah, we ate. We still had some really, really good food out there. But
yeah, lunch was funny. It was a funny contrast.
It was a funny contrast. But that was definitely the low light. But
like,
the more
I remember
about
Russell was like, "Is it the same lunch today?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll stick with my Nutri-Grain bar then."
Instead of the sandwich with the potato soup.
Yeah.
But since it was like such a shared low light, everyone is just laughing it off, and it's kind of like a funny thing to remember.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was a good one. I just want to share. I hope he's okay with this, but I wanted to read Joey's text message that he sent in our WhatsApp. So we have this WhatsApp group for our Ireland workshop, and it truly feels like family. Like we're still texting and talking about Kelsey's.
Kelsey met an Irishman. They're in love.
We're going to start marketing these workshops as matchmaking opportunities.
Yeah. Runaway vows. We create families.
Yeah. But anyway, we're like a family in this this WhatsApp
Looking
chat.
for love? Come to the next Runaway vows workshop.
But one of our guys, Joey, okay, he said something.
Came to Ephraim, by the way.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is this tiny little town. We did our first workshop.
Even if you live in Utah, you probably don't know where Ephraim is.
Joey's the guy that brought his guitar and sang to us
and was
at the end of the workshop.
And camped outside the venue. But yeah, Joey's been literally from the very beginning till now. He's been at most workshops. And he sent this text as he was heading back. And I thought it was really just like a breath of fresh air for all of us. He said, boarding my last flight back home, I had a lot of time to reflect after my laptop died on my first flight. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. And he's talking to the attendees, not just us. Bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. Before the workshop, I honestly thought about leaving the industry after significant burnout, juggling my full-time job and this. But after meeting y'all, I've never felt more inspired and hungry to dive deeper into the craft. I'm in awe of how incredibly talented each and every single one of you and how humble each and every single one of you are. Y'all have all set the standard for me. Hope to see you all in the future.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I was just like, that was such a rewarding thing, you know, because it's like, even from not just like the host perspective, it was just cool to see that a community of just 25 filmmakers can change one filmmaker who is considering leaving the industry. Yeah. And so I'm picturing Joey is when he bought the ticket, he was already just burnt out. And maybe it was just like a Hail Mary, like, hey, I'll try this out. I think I'll be able to tell if I like this or if I don't. And this might just be my last call or not. And to see that it turned out that way, where he came back feeling inspired, that was an extremely rewarding feeling to see that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think he came to me after like midday too and said it's already worth it.
Yeah.
What I paid for. And I was like, dang. I was just like humbling. You're just like, man, like you never know what part of a workshop is going to like hit somebody and say it's worth the investment now. You know, everything I paid for is because of that little thing that hit me right where I needed to be hit to learn something about myself and change for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey's a good guy.
Joey's a great guy.
It's been awesome getting to know him the last few years.
Yeah, it has been.
A regular.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, great week. We not that we're trying to pitch our listeners on Morocco.
No.
But it just got me very excited. More so for the community again. A new group of 20-something people, all just, again, trying to get better and trying to learn from one another. Yeah. Somewhere cool in the world. You know what I mean?
Next October, a year away in Morocco. We're going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah. So again, not a sales pitch, guys. Just letting you know if you wanted to join us and be a part of it or just learn more about it. We have a great page below. You can check it out and secure your spot or just learn more about it. And we'd love to see you there. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about Morocco or about Ireland? We'll have a recap video here pretty soon. We'll put it on the YouTube channel and probably like a little blog about it soon. But can't wait to get Courtney and Hannah's photos back from everything.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, Cherish, Lindsay, Courtney, and Russell, we love you.
Stay tuned for next year when we give another post-mortem. I don't have a pass for this one now. It's been a very reverent podcast, I feel like. Let's just...
Sacred almost.
Yeah, sacred.
Hollowed ground.
Yeah.
Just a couple of chefs. Also, guys, kind of a fun note. This marks the 1-year anniversary of the kitchen.
Yeah, officially.
Yeah. Because a year ago, like 3 days ago, we were driving to Danielle and Sam's wedding, and we decided to call this the kitchen. Yeah. Wow. And I just, when I was pregnant, and I didn't tell Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were very happy that day, I remember.
It was a great day.
Danielle and Sam, I was like, why is he this happy? Because it's our last wedding. It's the last wedding of the year. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, he's just stoked it's the last wedding of the year. About the next week, it was like, no, he's actually a father, and he was just stoked about that.
A year ago yesterday, I told you.
Really?
We had you come over right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
Can't believe it's been a year already. Jeez.
So yeah, thank you guys for being here for a year of the kitchen. Cooking up crazy stories, and maybe we'll have Tanner make a highlight reel of the last year, all the best moments.
The best takes.
I don't think we're that entertaining, but we would have Emma on this podcast, by the way.
I would love to have Emma. We still got to get down
fly her up here.
Yeah, maybe it's time we start flying people out here.
Let's fly Emma in.
That'd be great.
Should be a cheap flight from LA.
Let's fly Russell out here.
I'd love to fly Russell.
Man, if Russell could fly out here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, guys.
Hilarious.
We're just rambling. We love you. Thank you for listening. 1 year on the kitchen. We'll see you next week.